wood pile. We've got a little over 4 acres, just like 4.1 acres. And there's the fence on the neighbor's side. And property goes over to those pine trees over there, and then it's long, so it goes, I'll walk back there and show you the wood line. But the people that owned it before us were only here a couple of years, but the lady that owned it before that planted a ton of these little, you see how there's all this shrubby, bushy nonsense. So some of that's, there's a lot of crepe myrtles, and I can't stand crepe myrtles, mostly because you can't ever get rid of them. They're a pain. So I'm going to get rid of that. But what I've done before the leaves fell, when I could still tell what was what, I went around and identified. See, I've got a few trees that I flagged. Those are oaks or some other beneficial tree that I like. That's not just an ornamental thing. So I've got several of those there. I've got a nice little oak seedling there. Still got the leaves on it. Because while this brush is dead, I'm gonna cut away a lot of this stuff and try to just clean up the place a little bit. So there's a stump, and there's another stump and more clumpy, brushy stuff. This mound right here was grown high with a bunch of stuff, and I cut it back. Most of this mound here was, I need to get the chainsaw out and pack this stuff down. Compost pile that I started. It's time to start a new one. So I've got a barn, a little mini barn, a shed, but you can see it's in bad shape. It needs resided. It was built poorly, so I'm gonna have to reside it and kind of. It's still relatively dry inside, so I think I can salvage it. There's a grape arbor back here, but this is an awful place for grapes. There's too much shade in the summer, and grapes need sun. So I'm going to hack down the grapevines, and I'm going to repurpose this little area in here between the timbers there. That's going to be my chicken coop, chicken run, and I'll build a little coop probably on this end to keep the chickens here in a month or two. So just kind of walking around showing you. There's another row of crepe myrtles, just a whole row of them. There's some dogwoods here. That's a dogwood, and we're going to keep those. There's a brush pile that they left, which we're going to try to clean up today, I think, and get it back there toward the back of the property there. There's a brush pile that people have just been dumping stuff, so we're going to just take everything back there. Eventually here we're going to burn all that, but got to clean that up, cut away some of this other brushy stuff. So one of the problems here, there's a lot of these Bradford pears. That's a Bradford pear. There's a whole row of them there. And the problem with Bradford pears, see if I can find one to show you. If you do a little research, you can find out they're horrible, horrible trees. They're engineered trees, but if you cut them, they grow up and they have the most awful thorns on them when they come up. They send up suckers that are just full of thorns. So here's the back. We've got a little over 2 acres in this back field. Now when we moved here, this was all grown up. Hadn't been cut in forever. And my neighbor got an old tractor and a brush hog. He offered to come over and brush hog it, which I let him do. So, not sure what we're going to do with this yet. He and I have actually talked. He's talking about getting some cows for his property this year, and he wanted to know if I was open to fencing this and, you know, working out some arrangement to get the cows over here part-time too. So we're going to talk about that. That may work. We'll have to come to an agreement of what that's going to be like. I don't want to have to mow this. I've mowed this a couple times since it was brush hogged, and I don't want to have to do that every week. So I'd like to come up with something to do with it. I don't have the money to fence it this year, so he actually offered to fence it. So we'll see how all that works out. But that would be nice. I wouldn't have to mow it. I'll probably I'm going to put a garden in back here this spring, right kind of between the mini barn and the house. Put a garden in there, and eventually I've got this, there's a cement slab here. It used to be some kind of shed. It's got a crack in it. It's not the greatest of shape, but it's a slab of concrete. So I'm gonna build a little lean-to, I think, on it, and use it like as a machine shed, I think, to park the mower in. That's another issue I got to deal with. I need a shop in the worst kind of way. So all we've got right now, we've got that little mini barn, but it's not useful at all for that. We've got a carport. It's got that lattice all over it. And I think what I'm going to do as a temporary measure, we're going to pour some concrete in there and just get it where you can do something in there without laying on the rocks. And I'm going to enclose all this. And this first bay here, I think I'm going to totally enclose and make it into a little shop, at least temporarily. Eventually, I'd like to build a bigger garage / shop / storage barn somewhere here. But anyway, the goals this year are get a garden in, get some chickens, and keep beating back the brush a little bit. Maybe if I can work something out with a neighbor, get some cows on the back, and just so I don't have to mow it, and then figure out after that what to do with it. So anyway, wanted to just give you a tour of the place, show you what we're up against. It's a nice piece of property. It's got a lot of potential, I think. Just gonna have to do a lot of work. So that's what today's about. So I'm gonna shut off and get to work. Got to prune some apple trees today, so we'll probably do another video about that. That's it. Bye now.